Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we delve into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things, especially the ones that smell like tire smoke and come with questionable driving decisions. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers at Sideways Sandwich. Thanks for the slick suggestion, Sandwich. You asked, where did car drifting begin? If you've ever watched someone take a corner like they're in an action movie, or maybe tried it yourself in a rainy parking lot, you've probably wondered, how did this sideways driving style become a full-blown phenomenon? Is it just for show? Is it racing? Is it an accident that someone decided to continue doing it intentionally? Today, we're skidding through the smoky, screechy, slide-happy world of drifting to find out how it all started and where it went from there. So grab your helmets, tighten your seatbelts, and your egos, and let's slide into the story of drifting right here on Explaining Everything. Before we hit the history, let's define what drifting is, for those of you who think oversteer is a Starbucks order. Drifting is a technique where a driver intentionally oversteers a car through a corner while maintaining control and speed. In non-car nerd language, it's sliding your car sideways around a bend, on purpose, with style, smoke, and a high risk of needing new tires. It's like ballet, but with burnt rubber, roaring engines, and a slightly higher chance of crashing into a wall. Now, some people like to think drifting started as soon as cars were invented, and people realized, hey, this thing slides on wet roads. Let's make that a sport. Technically, uncontrolled sliding has existed since the first person tried driving too fast on a rainy day in a Model T. But actual drifting as an art form, a technique, and eventually a motorsport has a more badass and specific origin story. Enter Japan, sometime in the 1970s. More specifically, enter a guy named Kunimitsu Takahashi, a former motorcycle racer turned car driver who decided that regular cornering was for cowards. Takahashi was a legend on the Japanese racing scene. While most drivers were clinging to the idea of staying neatly on the racing line, Takahashi was throwing his car sideways through corners, tires screaming and still beating everyone. He was doing things that made engineers sweat and spectators cheer. But here's where it gets even cooler. His sideways antics caught the attention of a young, rebellious street racer named Keiichi Tsuchiya, a guy who would later become known as the Drift King. Yes, that's an actual title, not a Mario Kart nickname. Tsuchiya started practicing drifting on the narrow, twisty mountain roads of Japan, called Touge roads. Picture the Mario Kart Rainbow Road, but with trees, cliffs, and no extra lives. He wasn't doing it to win races. He was doing it because it looked cool and required an insane amount of skill. He'd drive down these winding roads at speeds that would make your insurance company break up with you and drift around each corner with surgical precision. Word spread. People gathered. Tsuchiya even released a VHS tape in the 1980s titled Prix, which sounds like a rejected Pokemon but was a homemade drifting highlight reel. It went viral before going viral was even a thing. Imagine TikTok but with less dancing and more tire smoke. This tape introduced the world to the idea that drifting wasn't just a mistake, it was an art. Tsuchiya's sideways style caught on, and soon drifting leaped from illegal midnight mountain races to legitimate racing events. In 1988, Japan held its first officially sanctioned drift event, and from there, the motorsport exploded. Drift competitions are judged not just on speed, but on angle, style, and proximity to barriers, because apparently, almost hitting a wall at 70 miles per hour is a talent now. The D1 Grand Prix, launched in 2000, became the gold standard for drift racing. It turned drifting into a professional sport, complete with sponsors, fan bases, and drivers with egos large enough to rival their turbochargers. So how did drifting go from being a Japanese subculture to something your cousin tried in a Walmart parking lot? 2 words: Tokyo Drift. In 2006, The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift came out, and while the plot was questionable at best, the drifting was top tier. Suddenly, the world wanted in. Kids bought toy cars and started power sliding them across kitchen floors. Real drivers started attending drift schools. Tire companies just rubbed their hands together like villains in a cartoon. Thanks to movies, video games like Need for Speed and Gran Turismo, and viral internet clips of cars doing things they really shouldn't be able to do, drifting became a global obsession. Today, drifting isn't just a sport, it's a culture. It's a lifestyle of loud engines, questionable financial decisions, and a closet full of car-themed hoodies. There are drift events in the US, Europe, Australia, you name it. Formula Drift, aka Formula D, is the biggest drifting championship in the US, and it regularly features pro drivers with cars that look like they were designed by a caffeinated teenager with a sticker obsession. And the cars? Oh, the cars. Nissan 240SX, Toyota AE86, Mazda RX-7. These aren't just vehicles, they're drift legends. Drivers will spend years and thousands of dollars modifying these beasts to achieve the perfect sideways slide. It's like customizing a lightsaber, but louder. So, there you have it, the sideways saga of drifting. From Japanese Tooge roads to international motorsport fame, drifting has gone from underground to understeer in the coolest way possible. Whether you're a car nerd, an adrenaline junkie, or just someone who thinks tires should be used for more than just gripping the road, drifting has carved its way into pop culture, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.